everybody, welcome to session 2 of our Doorstop Flower School. Thanks so much for everyone who did it last time for coming and doing it again, and hello to all our new people. I'm Christine, owner of Create 98, passionate about flowers, and we have been enjoying lots of different kinds of flowers at the moment, especially with our Chelsea coverage, which Stephen's going to tell you more about. And we got lots of great feedback, including that Stephen is a natural in front of the camera. So, with no further ado, I thought, well, why not? We'll ask Stephen to do this session as well. So we'll hand over to Stephen to take you through the demo. Enjoy your flowers.
Hello everybody, welcome along. So nice to find out that so many of you love flowers as much as me and Christine do. So we're bringing another Doorstop Flower School to you all today. First of all, I just want to talk through what you'll find in your bucket and give you a list of our flower varieties that we'll be using. So obviously, as you'll know, it's been a very hot week this week, so we've definitely taken that into consideration with our flower choices. So we've tried to keep it as seasonal as possible with lots of beautiful mauves, lavenders, blues, that kind of colour palette, but also we've concentrated on more tough, robust, but still very pretty flowers, so they should last you well through this little heat wave we're having this week. So first of all, we have our alliums, absolutely glorious, nice big tall stems, great because there's nothing to condition with these. All you need to do is cut the bottom of their stems, and then they're ready to go, no leaves to pick off. Next we have our chrysanthemums. Now these are an all year round flower, but they last so well in this weather. So we've added a few of these beautiful Rosano, like a pinky lilac shade. So I'm just going to pick the leaves of these off. So nice clean stems ready to use in our vase. Make sure you keep a few leaves on the top of your stem because that's going to help support your flowers as you make your arrangement. I'm going to strip those off now. Them done. Then we have our thistles or eryngium or sea holly, some might know them as. Again, not really much conditioning at all there. You might have an odd lower stem to pinch off. Keep them tidy again, just cut the bottoms of them and they're ready to go. Next we have these aconitum, really tall, stately blue flowers. So we have 3 of those. And they've got quite a bit of foliage to strip at the bottom. But again, like I said with the chrysanthemum, keep some of that leaf on. That's really going to help support your flowers as you build up your arrangement in those stems. So yeah, the aconitum these are, or monkshood, really lovely deep purpley blue shade. I've got 3 of those. Give them a snip. Then we've got alimonium, which is an all year round flower, but it's such a great filler, lasts ever such a long time, and it's a real beautiful, frothy, delicate looking flower. I don't want to condition any of this at all because I think what we will do as we build up our arrangement is probably split these stems and use them throughout our display. So I'm just going to trim those bottoms. The last of all, as a foliage, we have our Fatsia japonica, or you might know them as Aurelia. Really lovely sort of palm-shaped leaves, which we're going to use to finish off around the edge of our vase. Again, no lower leaves to take off, so just a snip at the bottom. Now, these flowers have just come in this morning for us all, so they've not had much of a drink, so please bear that in mind when you're conditioning them and when you're looking at them. I mean, everything's very robust, but you can see, for instance, like the chrysanthemum, it looks a little bit squashed where it's travelled really tightly compact in the boxes. So it's going to take a couple of hours to have a good drink and open out, and all those petals are going to stretch out. The same with taller things like the aconitum or monkshood. Sometimes where they've travelled dry in boxes, those ends might hook over a little bit where they've not had much of a drink. But a recut of the stem and a good drink in some fresh water, they'll perk up in no time. So that's everything conditioned, and now we're ready to move on to our arrangement. Right, so this week we're going to do a slightly different arrangement. Last week we did hand ties, which I'm sure we'll come back to, but this time we're going to arrange directly into our vase. So we're using these beautiful glass vases that are available on the website should you wish to purchase one. Alternatively, any glass vase of a similar proportions, if you can see, not too wide a neck, would work perfectly. So we're going to build up a grid across the top of our vase using your provided pot tape, which is really great, super sticky florist tape. And what we're doing is a bit like an old-fashioned rose bowl. So you're developing a little grid system that you can put your flowers in between, and that tape's really going to help support the flowers and spread out their arrangement. So we're going to build it up a few going across, and just sticking it directly onto the vase. Don't put them too closely together because you do want to leave some room to get those flowers in. Also, when you're doing this, do remember to fill up your vase first. When you can fill up the vase after, but it gets a bit fiddly getting it in between those gaps of the tape. It gets a bit messy. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going across there on the left of my vase. And I'm going to do the same across this way. Really is a great little florist technique for spreading out your flowers and supporting them in an arrangement. And just for extra security and to neaten up those edges, I'm going to run a piece of tape all the way around the outside. Just neatens it up and also just adds, as I say, that extra bit of security to keep things in place. There you have your taped vase ready for your flower display. Okay. Right, so we're going to start putting our flowers in now. So normally when I do a flower arrangement, I'd always start with those big statement flowers. That would be my first port of call, but we're going to arrange slightly differently here today. I'm going to start with those filler flowers. So we're going to start with the limonium and the eryngium. And what I want to do is build up a nice base of these lower filler flowers, and then I'm going to add those taller elements throughout and coming out of the arrangement. So this is really going to build up kind of like a matrix of stems in your vase that's going to support those bigger, heavier flowers in the arrangement. And with things like the limonium, you can split those stems down so you get a couple of pieces out of each stem and just poke them in through those gaps in between your tape. So limonium in, that last bit in the centre I think. And I'll just add a couple of eryngium in either side, in between the limonium. I'm using that vase as a gauge of where to cut your stems. And do remember, be cautious when you cut. You know, you can always cut again, but you can't add a bit on. So if you're unsure, go steady and come a little bit off at a time. There's our eryngium in. So they're into our arrangement. And now I'm going to move on to some bigger stems. I'm going to use our chrysanthemums next. So I think I'm going to use these quite low and have them nestled in between, around at equal distances, and use those taller flowers to come out of the top. Really add some height and drama into our arrangement. I think. Nestling them in amongst our limonium. And depending on where you're putting your flowers, if they're going in the centre of a dining table or coffee table, you want to create an all-round arrangement like I'm doing. But of course, if it's going on a sideboard or in your hallway, you might want to put everything at the front because nothing's going to be so visible at the back. So think about where you're placing your vase when you're putting your flowers in. I'm going to go for an all-round arrangement, so I'm evenly distributing my flowers around. So you're kind of creating sort of a triangle formation of those 3 stems. In pretty much all floristry arrangements, we tend to work in odd numbers, 3s, 5s, 7s, always looks visually more appealing. So there we have our chrysanthemums in, and now we're ready to add in our taller stems. So next I'm going to go in with our aconitum. I'm probably going to keep all of that length on them and really have them sort of climbing out of our arrangement, adding a nice bit of drama to the display. So I'm going to tuck those in between where I put our chrysanthemums. 1, 2, get the third one in there. And we're going to move on to our alliums. I really love these shades at this time of year. I think they just remind me of the garden, those blues and rose and lights together. And what I really love about them, from years gone by going to Chelsea, it really reminds me of that Chelsea flower show. There's always big displays of alliums, delphiniums, things like foxgloves, the monk's hood, the aconitum, always loads of blues and mauves and lilacs around. So as Christine was saying, we're going to take some time out. We've got some great Chelsea videos available through the website. You can have a look at. They're 15, 20 minutes long each, so great to sit down with a cup of tea or a glass of something. There's some poetry on there, floral arrangement displays, some folklore about particular flowers. There's some great gardening tips from Jenny, who helps us out behind the scenes here. So tuck that in there. And what I've tried to do when making my arrangement is try to cut things at different heights. So at every level, you've got some different texture and some different interest into your display. It's really starting to fill up in here now, so it's actually getting quite difficult to poke those flower heads in, which is great, which means that we're getting a nice full display of ours. Last flower going in now. In there. And then just to finish off, we've got these fatsia leaves. I'm just going to tuck those in the front, just to conceal that tape that we've got, and to finish off that arrangement. Last one. Back. There we go. The beautiful finished vase arrangement. So when you're trying your vase arrangement at home, please don't forget to take a few photos of your flower arrangements. Maybe you might even want to make a little video. Please do share your videos and your photos with us on Create98 on all social media networks. And don't forget to tag us in your photos and use the hashtag Doorstep Flower School. Enjoy making your flower arrangement, and hopefully we'll get to see you all again very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.
Great because of the sun, but here we are in the Create98 garden, and Jenny is preparing everything for you. Say hello, Jenny.
Hello.
She's busy. Oh, sorry, that's the rubbish. Anyway, here are your beautiful flowers, all rowed up. We need to get them to you before the sun gets